And here are the paces on parade for tonight's opener. Number 1 is Candy Secret, owned by Wind River Standard Breds with Justin Hall. Number 2 is Arizona Jill, owned by Gail Potter with David Myers. Number 3 is Mamie Crombie, owned by Mark Wooten and Stephen Smith with Billy Herman. Number 4, Towner's Poodle, is owned by William Michael with Fritz Wenzel. 5 is Camelot, owned by Judy Smith with Scott McQuinn. Number 6 is Juliet, owned by Walter Brown with Ryan Allen. 7, Listen Early, owned and driven by Robert Peterson. The 8 is ER Medusa, owned and driven by Jim Peterson. And the 9 is Majestic Princess, owned by Stephen Watkins with Brad Henners. And post time is in less than 5 minutes. You have less than 5 minutes on till post. Up in the backstretch, off stride the 1, Candy Secret. They're off. Arizona Jill from the inside takes the lead. Camelot driving up in the center. Towner's Poodle is up close with Majestic Princess on the far outside along with Listen Early. Mamie Crombie is there along the rail. Just to her outside we come to Juliet, 2.5 lengths back to Candy Secret, who recovers. Now slips up the inside to race second last in the early trailer is ER Medusa, and she's about 7 lengths behind. As they race to the head of the stretch for the first time, David Myers shows the way with Arizona Jill. Here's Majestic Princess to her flank early, the opening quarter in 28 4. Passing the stands for the first time, Majestic Princess from the outside, right along the rail. Arizona Jill, she retaliates just a bit, but now she gives it up, and Majestic Princess will go on with it. Arizona Jill is back to second. Camelot rolling up first over from third. Towner's Poodle is fourth by 3. Then we have Mamie Crombie along the rail in fifth. 3 wide Candy Secret rushing back into it. Listen Early is in between horses as they race around the turn on their way to the half-mile pole. Majestic Princess shows the way. Arizona Jill is back out of the pocket to retake, though, 59 2. Very eventful as they race around the turn on their way to the backstretch. Arizona Jill, here's Candy Secret with a 3 wide rush off the turn and down the backstretch. Candy Secret now goes to the front, opens up by 2. Arizona Jill is backing up on the outside second. Majestic Princess comes through at the rail now to be second. Camelot is 3 wide, trying to advance into third, followed at the rail by Towner's Poodle. 2.5 lengths farther back to Mamie Crombie. Listen Early is alongside, followed by Juliet, and ER Medusa is now last, 129 3. Around to the head of the stretch. Candy Secret shows the way by 1.5 lengths. Majestic Princess coming out to her on the outside. Towner's Poodle is third, and that one's swinging out 3 deep. Mamie Crombie, the 2-year-old, tries to circle up on the far outside. Now she switches back there as they make their way into the stretch. Candy Secret all out to hold the lead. Juliet up the inside. Majestic Princess is there. Towner's Poodle and Mamie Crombie on the far outsides in gear. And here comes Mamie Crombie to nail it. Mamie Crombie, Towner's Poodle, and Majestic Princess third. Parimutuel win for Mamie Crombie. It's her first start. She's a 2-year-old brown filly by Abercrombie out of the Cool Wind mare Mamie's Miracle, and by Mark Wooten and Stephen Smith of Tennessee. Bill Herman trains and drives 2 minutes and 3. 3-4 exacta, 43 even. Try 3-4-9, 276.20. Rundown for the opener: Candy Secret 6, Arizona Jill 9th, Mamie Crombie the winner, Towner's Poodle was 2nd, Camelot was 7th, Juliet was 4th, Listen Early 8th, ER Medusa 5th, Majestic Princess 3rd, Top Down 691 274 853. Second race coming up next, sponsored by Budget Car and Truck Rental. Exact is in try. Number 2 is Who's Your Boy, owned by Ed Mullinax with Chip Noble driving. Number 3 is Sand on Fire, owned by Bill Sanders with David Myers. 4 is Alexander the Great, owned by Claude Gendro Stable Inc., Dave Searle. Number 5, Dressed to Kill, is owned by Kemp and Keith, Mike Roth. And the 6 horse is Sky High Rebo, owned by Melby Ober with Brad Hanners. Post time in less than 6 minutes, less than 6. Second race pacers lining up and approaching the start. And they're off. The 2 Hoosier Boy was about 4 lengths off the gate. Sand on Fire, it takes the lead, opens up by 2 on Alexander the Great in second, followed by Dressed to Kill, who gets away in third. Hoosier Boy now advancing along the inside fourth, and a length and a half back to Sky High Rebo, who trails the field of 5, and he's about 7 lengths off the pace. Rolling around to the head of the stretch for the first time, and Sand on Fire shows the way by 2 lengths for David Myers. Drafting along in second is Alexander the Great, followed by Hoosier Boy, or rather that's Dressed to Kill. Then it's Hoosier Boy and Sky High Rebo is last, opening quarter 29-1. Passing the stands for the first time with Sand on Fire on the lead. Sand on Fire leads at 2.5 lengths from Alexander the Great in second. Dressed to Kill is third. 2 back Hoosier Boy stays in from fourth, still with 5 to make up. And he is second last to Sky High Rebo, who trails the single file field as they race around the turn on their way to the half-mile pole. Not much action here as Sand on Fire continues to show the way. It's Sand on Fire, the co-even money favorite, who leads to the half in 1 minute flat. Out of the turn end, down the backstretch. Sand on Fire by 2.5 lengths. Alexander the Great been right there the whole way in second. 2.5 more to Dressed to Kill, who's losing ground at the rail in third. Hoosier Boy tips to the outside to move up alongside in fourth. Then 2.5 lengths back to Sky High Rebo, who has trailed throughout. 5/16 remaining as they head for the far turn. Sand on Fire leads by 2. Alexander the Great. Hoosier Boy is rapidly gaining ground on the outside from third. 5 back to Sky High Rebo, and Dressed to Kill 129-1. Around to the head of the stretch. Sand on Fire on the inside. Stiff challenge coming from Hoosier Boy on the outside. Their noses apart for the lead. It's 2 lengths farther back to Alexander the Great in third. Sky High Rebo is fourth, and far back to Dressed to Kill as they make their way into the stretch. And Hoosier Boy strikes the front and opens up by 2. Followed by Sand on Fire. Alexander the Great is closing along the inside, but Hoosier Boy will win this one easily. Alexander the Great up for second with Sand on Fire third. Hoosier Boy back to the winner's circle, 2 for 2 lifetime, tying the mark he set last time out of 158-1. 2-year-old bay called by Arts Place out of the Big Towner mare, Sweet Reflection, owned by Ed Mullinax of Amherst, Ohio. Kelly O'Donnell trains, Chip Noble drives, 2-4 exact to $7 even. The draw 2, 4, and 3, $12.20. And the daily double 3 and 2, $7.80. Here's your rundown. Mr. Tambourine Pan Scratch, Hoosier Boy the winner, Sand on Fire third, Alexander the Great was second, Dressed to Kill fifth, Sky High Rebo fourth, top down, Scratch 1, 3, 2, 5, 4. Third race coming up next, Exactas and Supers, Brian Sears on the 9, Power Stroke, 12 minutes away at 7:42. Is Cam's Achiever, owned by Farmer Day and Arm Brewster. David Myers drives. 2 times a change in, owned by Gene Ann Shanley with Chip Noble. 3 is Don't Call Me Clyde, owned by Clyde McNabb with Brad Hanners. 4 is Do You Want It or Not, owned and driven by Robert Halsey. There's the 5, Shorty Cantu, owned by Criswell and Sindel, Kane Kaufman of the bike. Next is the 6, Cooney, owned by Pfeiffer and Pfeiffer. Dustin Pfeiffer drives. 7 is Trick A Rebo, owned by Melby Ober with Justin Hall. The 8 is Expensive Style, owned by Parker Green and Green, Ron Steck. And the 9 is Power Stroke, owned by Jack and Betty McCall with Brian Sears. Post time at 6 minutes. Lining up in the backstretch and approaching the start. And they're off. Shorty Cantu from the center of the track takes the lead. Power Stroke is driving up on the far outside. Austrine goes Cooney. Cam's Achiever gets away in third. 2 back. The times are changing in fourth. Then we have 2.5 more lengths to Don't Call Me Clyde, who's about 6 off the early pace, and 2 clear of Do You Want It or Not, followed by Trick A Rebo, Expensive Style, and 2.5 more to Cooney, who trails the field. He's back pacing about 15 lengths behind. Racing to the head of the stretch for the first time, and Brian Sears hustles Power Stroke to the top. It's Power Stroke leading by 2 from Shorty Cantu. Cam's Achiever is out early and now tips back to the inside. Opening quarter in 28 3. Passing the stands for the first time. This is your 2-to-1 favorite, Power Stroke, showing the way. Power Stroke by 2, tracked by the long shot Shorty Cantu in second. Gap out 2 to Cam's Achiever in third. Next is Times a Change in fourth. Do You Want It or Not is first up, looking for cover from fifth. And then we have Don't Call Me Clyde, who is back to sixth. Outside in the cover flow, that's Trick A Rebo from seventh, followed by Cooney and Expensive Style, 59 seconds for the half. Out of the turn and down the backstretch, Power Stroke getting a bit of urging early on. He's got the lead by a length and a half. Cam's Achiever is back out of the 3-hole. He's ranging up again, looking to challenge. Shorty Cantu is third. Length and a half. 2 times a change in is brought out from fourth. 3 more lengths to Don't Call Me Clyde, who has 6 to make up in fifth. 3 wide around dead cover goes Trick A Rebo, followed by Cooney. Do You Want It or Not has absolutely nothing, and the trailer is Expensive Style. They're at the 3/4, and from the outside, it's David Myers and Cam's Achiever taking the lead in 1:29 flat. Around to the head of the stretch, and Cam's Achiever goes on with it now. He has it by a length and a half. Times a change and closing in second. Power Stroke is dropping back third. Shorty Cantu is off the rail in fourth. Trick A Rebo on the far outside as they make their way through the stretch. Cam's Achiever is trying to hold the lead. Times a change and closing on the outside. Shorty Cantu, center of the track, is in gear. It's Times a change in between horses. Here's Shorty Cantu on the outside, getting up. Then it was Times a change in second. Cam's Achiever third, and Trick A Rebo fourth. Shorty Cantu is back to the winner's circle. First lifetime win, 159-2. 3-year-old bay colt by Nuke's Image out of the Abercrombie mare. Fry 2, owned by Gerald Criswell and Wilbur Sindell of Marion and Gahanna, Ohio. Del Criswell, the winning trainer. Kane Kaufman in the bike. It's official. 5-2 exacta, $117 even. Super 5-2-1-7, $3,794.40. Here they are for the fourth. Number 1 is Fun Time He Be Bad, owned by FTF Incorporated. Brad Hanners drives. Next is the 2 Noble Shine, owned by the White Creek Stable. Kane Kaufman of the bike. The 3 is Southland, owned by the Charter Oak Stable with Jim Laurenti. Number 4, Walter Hanover, owned by Burke. Chericello, Jones and Burke, Brian Sears. 5, No Pan is an Island, owned by Peter Pan Stables, Duke Sugg. 6, Absolutely True, owned by James Hoffler with Chip Noble. And the 7 is Manifold Man, owned by Homebred Limited with Ronnie Steck. Post time in 6 minutes, 6 minutes on tilt post. Fourth race field lining up, and there they go. And they're off. Fun Time He Be Bad from the inside takes the lead. That's Walter Hanover from 3 wide into second. Noble Shine settles back in third, 2.5 lengths back. Absolutely True driving up on the far outside from fourth. No Pan is an Island is fifth. The length and a half clear of Southland. Manifold Man is the early trailer with about 8 to make up at this stage as they race around on the head of the stretch for the first time. And it's Walter Hanover showing the way. Walter Hanover, Absolutely True, is up to his flank on the outside second. Fun Time He Be Bad is third, followed by Noble Shine fourth. No Pan is an Island fifth. Gapping out 2.5 lengths back to Southland, and Manifold Man opening quarter 29 seconds flat. Passing the stands for the first time, Absolutely True, and Chip Noble clear off to lead it by a length in 3 parts. From Walter Hanover in second, gapped out third is the favorite Fun Time He Be Bad, and he is 2 clear of Noble Shine. Next in line is No Pan is an Island, who is third last to Southland, and Manifold Man has about 10 to make up. Around the turn on the way to the half-mile pole, it's Absolutely True on the lead. 3-1 second choice, Absolutely True. Takes him to a half in 59-1. Out of the turn and down the backstretch. Absolutely True by a length and a quarter. From Walter Hanover in second. Fun Time Hebe Bad is a closer third. 2 lengths farther back, and we come down to Noble Shine in fourth. A span of 3 more to No Pan is an Island, and that one is 3 clear of Southland, and Manifold Man has trailed throughout. They're 5/16 out as they point for the far turn, and this is Absolutely True. Absolutely True, now by a length and 3/4. Walter Hanover second, and there goes Handers and Fun Time Hebe Bad out of the 3-hole. 2.5 lengths back to Noble Shine, followed by No Pan is an Island, 128 and 3. Around to the head of the stretch. Absolutely True has the lead. Here's Fun Time Hebe Bad moving up to his outside in second. 3 lengths farther back to Walter Hanover in third. Another 6 lengths farther back. And we come to No Pan is an Island as they drive through the stretch. Absolutely True trying to turn back the challenge of Fun Time Hebe Bad. It's Absolutely True by a length. Fun Time Hebe Bad close it. Absolutely True to win it. Fun Time Hebe Bad second and Walter Hanover third. Here they are for the fifth. One is Sunbeam Sam, owned by Charles and William Wingfield with Ron Steck. 2 Big Sky Country, owned by David Cooper. Brian Sears drives. 3 is Just Plain Johnny, owned by Levesque and Elif, Sonny Levesque. 4 Impatient Falcon, owned by Kruger and Morlock. Brad Anders drives. 5 is Neon Dion Bluegrass, owned by Chamier Moment Port, Trent Tharps. Up ahead the 6 Major Bloodstock, owned by Humphrey and Webb, Ty Van Roden. 7 Bermuda Scooter, owned by Jewel Freshhour with Jim Shelton. 8 is J.R. Ritchie, owned by Ruth Barnes. Justin Hall drives. And the 9 is Sunday Stroll, owned by Donald and Sharon Barlow with Jack Franklin. 5 minutes, post time in less than 5 minutes. They're in the backstretch, lining up, and there they go. They're off and pacing. Neon Dion Bluegrass is first away from the center with Major Bloodstock from alongside. J.R. Ritchie driving up from the far outside. Bermuda Scooter is hustled off to the gate in the 4th position, followed by Just Plain Johnny at the rail in 5th. Sunday Stroll the outside looks to take a seat in 6th, a length and a half clear of Big Sky Country, followed by Impatient Falcon, and Sunbeam Sam is the early trailer, about a dozen lengths behind. Racing to the top of the stretch, and from the outside, J.R. Ritchie takes over the lead. It's J.R. Ritchie from Major Bloodstock and Neon Dion Bluegrass, and 27 and 2. Passing the stands for the first time, and this is J.R. Ritchie. A 13-1 long shot shows the way by 2. Tracked by Major Bloodstock in second. Neon Dion Bluegrass is third. Length and a half Just Plain Johnny is snug 4th. Bermuda Scooters racing 5th. Sunday Stroll and Jack Franklin brought out from 6th. 2.5 lengths back to Big Sky Country. It picks up the cover, as does Impatient Falcon. And Sunbeam Sam is the back marker with about 9 to make up. Around the turn of the half-mile pole, J.R. Ritchie now being flanked by Neon Dion Bluegrass. They hit the half in 58 and 2. Out of the turn end, down the backstretch. J.R. Ritchie on the inside. Neon Dion Bluegrass on the outside. They are nose to nose for the lead. Major Bloodstock in perfect striking position in the pocket. Third outside, Sunday Stroll advancing with the cover in 4th. 2 back, Just Plain Johnny is gapped slightly in 5th. Alongside Big Sky Country is 6 out the pace in 6th. Followed by Bermuda Scooter is covered up 7th to the inside of Impatient Falcon. And Sunbeam Sam is last. They're at the 3/4, and it's Neon Dion Bluegrass who works his way to the front. 127 flat. Around to the head of the stretch, Neon Dion Bluegrass leads it by a length and a quarter. From J.R. Ritchie back to second. Sunday Stroll is 2 off the pace, still gaining a bit of ground on the outside third. Far outside is Major Bloodstock along with Impatient Falcon as they drive through the stretch. Neon Dion Bluegrass leads by a half. Sunday Stroll on the outside second. J.R. Ritchie far outside. Impatient Falcon is closing in. It's Neon Dion Bluegrass, Impatient Falcon, and Sunday Stroll. Impatient Falcon getting up. Then it was Sunday Stroll and Neon Dion Bluegrass third. Back in the winner's circle is Impatient Falcon. First local win for this one. 157 and 3 is a lifetime best. The lone 3-year-old in the field. He's the son of Falcon Almerhurst out of the Steady Star mare Impatience, owned by Norman Kruger and Roger Morlock of Ohio. Jim Kiesel trains. Brad Anders the winning driver. Trophy in this one being presented by everyone with the Bexley Lions Club. Welcome to Scioto Downs. Rundown for the 5th. Sunbeam Sam was 5th. Big Sky Country 6th. Just Plain Johnny 8th. And Patient Falcon was the winner. Neon Dion Bluegrass 3rd. Major Bloodstock 4th. Bermuda Scooter 9th. J.R. Ritchie 7th. Sunday Stroll 2nd. Top Down 5, 6, 8, 1, 3, 4, 9, 7, 2. 11 minutes to the 6th race. Exact and trifecta wagering. In the 6th race, number 7, Rigidorous. The driver is Brian Sears. Here they are for the 6th race. Number 1 is Stoico, owned by William Donovan of Bellingham, Massachusetts. David Myers drives. 2 is Hot Rod Jack, owned by Harry and Iris Horowitz. Debbie Rucker in the bike. 3 is Precious Star, owned by Elmer Freund and David Zoll with Brad Henners. 4 is Pan Grenade, owned by Peter Pan Stables with Duke Sugg. 5 is Jate's Whim, owned by Paint Creek Farms. Richard Oldfield drives. 6 CR Beach Cruiser, owned by Bartley and Bartley. Ron Steck. 7 is Rigidorous, owned by Newcastle Stable. Brian Sears drives, and that's the field. Post time at 5 minutes. Less than 5 minutes on Till Post. Two-year-olds lining up in the backstretch and approaching the start. And they're off. Rigidorous from the far outside. Precious Star between horses. Stoico at the rail. CR Beach Cruiser gets away in 4th. 2 back to Hot Rod Jack in 5th. To the inside of Pan Grenade, who is second last, and 2 lengths back to Jate's Whim, who trails the field. Around the far turn, it's Precious Star and Brad Henners showing the way by a length and a quarter. But quickly, here's Stoico, very impatient, out of the pocket and looking to take over the lead. 3 lengths farther back to CR Beach Cruiser, who tightens down in 3rd. Followed by Rigidorous in 4th. Hot Rod Jack is racing in 5th. Followed by Pan Grenade, and Jate's Swim is now trailing in 28 and 1. Passing the stands for the first time. This is the Jersey shipper. Stoico shows the way at 4 to 5 at Stoico by a length and a half from Precious Star in 2nd. CR Beach Cruiser is 3rd. Length and a half back. Rigidorous stays in 4th. Hot Rod Jack is 5th. Outside Pan Grenade is underway looking for cover from 6th. And then it's Jate's Whim, who is brought to the outside from 7th. And now they both get cover from Rigidorous, who swings outside. Around the turn of the half-mile pole. And it's Stoico showing the way. Stoico on top of length and a half. Precious Star, Rigidorous first up. CR Beach Cruiser. Pan Grenade gaps the cover. Hot Rod Jack and trailing the field Jate's Whim. 1 minute and 2 fifths. Just 32 and 1 out of the turn and down the backstretch. And Stoico tries to take off now. He's leading it by 2 lengths as Precious Star once again draws a closer second. Rigidorous being called on for his best on the outside 3rd. 2 back CR Beach Cruiser 4th. Pan Grenade trying to keep up with the cover or catch the cover in 5th. Then 2 lengths farther back to Hot Rod Jack, and trailing the field is Jate's Whim 3/4 in 1:29 and 1, 28 and 4 on the 3rd split as they race to the top of the stretch. Stoico just over length. Precious Star. Rigidorous bows out between horses. Pan Grenade on the far outside with CR Beach Cruiser as they make their way into the stretch. Stoico gets a tap of the whip, leads it just over a length. Precious Star coming to him along the inside 2nd. 3 back CR Beach Cruiser. Pan Grenade the outside. Stoico leads. Here's Precious Star up the inside. Stoico and Precious Star, they're going to hit the wire together. And it was tight, very tight at the wire. Looked like maybe Stoico just held on with Precious Star and Pan Grenade. Stoico back in the winner's circle. 2-year-old bay colt by Presidential Ball out of the legal notice Mare Umbro Escapade. Owned by William Donovan of Bellingham, Massachusetts. Jim Arledge Jr., the winning trainer. David Myers, the winning driver. 1:59 and 2 fifths. Here they are for the 7th. 1 is Camvolo, owned by Gettle and Wenzel. Brad Henners drives. Number 2 is Cinderlane Magic, owned by Wingfield and Wingfield. Brian Sears. 3 is Dinker's Future, owned by Robert Dinkelman. Ryan Holton in the bike. Number 4 is Tangy Man, owned by Payne and Daly. Ron Steck. That's the 5 Prasher, owned by Taubert and Taubert. Ron Taubert drives. There's the 4 Tangy Man. Next is the 6 Smooth Mike, owned by the Not to Worry stable and Echo Pond stables. Chip Noble drives. And the 7 is Stevie Ray Vaughan, owned by William and Sharon Worley with Jimmy Wisman. Post time in 6 minutes, less than 6 minutes on Till Post. It is rolling. 7th race field lining up, and there they go. And they're off. Camvolo from the inside takes the lead. Cinderlane Magic from alongside second. Tangy Man gets away 3 deep in third. Dinker's Future away in fourth. Pressure between horses fifth. Smooth Mike is racing second last, and Stevie Ray Vaughan is the early trailer. Pacing around the far turn the first time, and Brian Sears and Cinderlane Magic drive on. They've got the lead now by a length and a half. Camvolo is back to second. Tangy Man is third by 2. Dinker's Future is fourth by the same. Then it's Prasher, Smooth Mike, and Stevie Ray Vaughan. They're at the opening quarter, 28-3. Passing the stands for the first time, and this is 6-5 favorite Cinderlane Magic showing the way. Cinderlane Magic leads Camvolo by a length and a quarter. Gap out another length, and we have Tangy Man in third, 2.5 to Dinker's Future, fourth. Outside, Stevie Ray Vaughan is first up from fifth. Prasher along the inside is sixth, and Smooth Mike is now trailing, but Chip Noble swings him off the cones. He's got 9 lengths to make up. Around the turn on the way to the half-mile pole, Cinderlane Magic shows the way. Camvolo, Tangy Man, Dinker's Future, Stevie Ray Vaughan, Prasher, and Smooth Mike made a brief miscue. 59 seconds flat. Off the turn and down the backstretch, Cinderlane Magic by a length and a quarter. Camvolo been right there all the way in second. 2 back to Tangy Man in third. Another length and a half more. Stevie Ray Vaughan has worked his way into fourth. He's still got 5 to make up, though. And then we have Dinker's Future at the rail. Prasher is alongside, and far back now is Smooth Mike. 5:16 out as they head for the far turn. Cinderlane Magic leads Camvolo. Stevie Ray Vaughan continues to gain ground on the outside. 1:28-1. Around to the top of the stretch. Cinderlane Magic by a length and a quarter. Stevie Ray Vaughan on the outside now moves into second. Camvolo a snug third. He's poised to strike from the passing lane, followed by Tangy Man, Prasher, and Dinker's Future as they drive through the stretch. Cinderlane Magic all out to hold the lead. Here comes Camvolo on the outside second. Stevie Ray Vaughan a flat third. It's Camvolo to the inside, taking the lead and edging away. Cinderlane Magic second, and Tangy Man up for third. Back in the winner's circle, Camvolo. Strong back half for Camvolo, winning in a lifetime best 156-3. Third win on the season. 4-year-old son of Camtastic out of the Fritz the Cat mare Folo, owned by Mark Gettle of Alliance, Ohio, and Fritz Wenzel of Tiro, Ohio. Fritz Wenzel trains. Brad Hahn is the winning driver. Here they are for the 8th one is Strawberry Rain, owned by Dick and Joyce McClellan. Brad Hanners drives. 2 is Mactowner Hanover, owned by James Celedonia with Brian Sears. Number 3 is Arizona Attack, owned by Robinson and Kohler and Klotz. Mark Klotz in the bike. 4 is Little Moon Doggy, owned by Nancy Buckley with Jim Todd II. Here's the 5 Hyperlink, owned by Penny Creek Farms with Richard Oldfield. 6 is Champlain, owned by the Claude Gendro Stable Inc. with Dave Searle, and the 7 is Timely Manor, owned by Thomas York Jr. with David Myers in 6 minutes, less than 6. Eighth race field lining up and approaching the start. And the Ross Strawberry Rain from the inside is out for the lead, along with Hyperlink from the center. And then we have Mactowner Hanover, who gets away in third. Outside, Arizona Attack is fourth, a length and a quarter clear. A Little Moon Doggy in fifth, and 2 farther back to Champlain, and Timely Matter is last. Duel to the opening quarter on the inside. Strawberry Rain comes away with it by a length. Hyperlink is back in the pocket second, 5 more lengths, and we come back to Mactowner Hanover, Arizona Attack, Little Moon Doggy, Champlain, and Timely Matter. Should be a pretty quick opening quarter. They hit that station 27-4. Passing the stands for the first time, and Brad Hanners shows the way with Strawberry Rain now. It's Strawberry Rain, who is 2 lengths clear of Hyperlink, who's back in the pocket second. 2 more Mactowner Hanover is third. And that one is 2 clear of Arizona Attack. Then the length and a quarter back to Little Moon Doggy, followed by the outsiders Champlain and Timely Matter. All gaps are closed as they race single file into the clubhouse turn. Strawberry Rain shows the way at 1 to 5. This is Strawberry Rain on top of the field. Hyperlink is second, followed by Mactowner Hanover third. Arizona Attack, Little Moon Doggy, 2 back to Champlain and Timely Matter, and 59 and 2. Very good breather there, 31 and 3 for the leader off the turn and down the backstretch. Strawberry Rain now extends the lead by 3. Hyperlink tries to tighten down a bit in second. 2.5 lengths back, Mactowner Hanover is third. And 2 clear of Arizona Attack in fourth. Another 2 farther back to Champlain, who's starting to get into it from third last. He's still got 7 to make up, though. And then it's Little Moon Doggy, who is now second last. And Timely Matter swings to the outside. He is still the trailer. 3/4 in 1:29 and 1. Around the far turn, Strawberry Rain by 3 lengths. Hyperlink is trying to close in second, followed on the outside by Mactowner Hanover in third. Along the rail, Arizona Attack is fourth. Forget the rest as they bend off the turn and drive through the stretch. Strawberry Rain on top by 3. Hyperlink is chasing the whole way in second, followed by Arizona Attack and Mactowner Hanover, who battle it out for third. But this is all the favorite. Strawberry Rain easily the best by 2, 1:57 and 2. Hyperlink second and Mactowner Hanover third. Brad Hanners with a triple tonight. This time he scores with Strawberry Rain, a 2-year-old bay colt by Abercrombie out of the Meadow Skipper Mare Rainproof, owned by Dick and Joyce McClellan of Zanesville. Eric Nesselrode is the winning trainer. Brad Hanners in the bike. First win in 2 attempts. Strawberry Rain in 1:57 and 2. Rundown for the 8th, Strawberry Rain, the winner. The 8 Beret, Trent Tharps drives. Here the Pacers for tonight's 9th race. The 1 is out. The 2 is Broadway Chaperone, owned by Donald and Virginia Mays, with Kane Kaufman driving. 3 Tucson Charlie, owned by William Carruthers, with Chip Noble. 4 FVP, owned by Hodgkinson, Puccio, and Vesco, Ryan Holton. 5 Billy Don't Be a Hero, owned by Greg Trent, with Brian Sears. 6 is out. 7 Jamaican Me Crazy, owned by Chucky Grubbs, with Brad Hanners. 8 Beret is owned by Moment Poor and Chamier Trent Tharps. Less than 6 minutes until post, less than 6. Seven Jamaican Me Crazy is off stride, far back. There they go. And they're off. Broadway Chaperone leads in tandem with FVP. Up close between horses, Tucson Charlie now gets away in third. Billy Don't Be a Hero is fourth, about 5 lengths off the early pace. Followed by Beret and far back trailing the field on a dead run, Jamaican Me Crazy. Around the turn of the head of the stretch for the first time, and it's Broadway Chaperone leading by a length. FVP is up on the outside, followed by Tucson Charlie at the rail. Another 6.5 lengths further back, and we come to Billy Don't Be a Hero, followed by Beret. And far back, Jamaican Me Crazy is now pacing 27 and 2 for the opening quarter. Passing the stands for the first time. Broadway Chaperone on the inside. FVP is relentless on the outside. And those two are noses apart for the lead. FVP has his nose in front under the wire with 5/8 to go. Tucson Charlie is gapped slightly in third. 6 lengths back to Billy Don't Be a Hero, Beret, and far back to the trailer, Jamaican Me Crazy. They're over the half. Broadway Chaperone now battles back to gain a narrow lead. FVP stuck right with him in second, 56 and 4 for the half. Tucson Charlie watches over the top pair from third. 4 lengths farther back, Billy Don't Be a Hero draws a closer fourth. Beret is racing in fifth, and then it's far back to the trailer, Jamaican Me Crazy. They are 3/8 out as they head for the far turn, and Broadway Chaperone has not shaken off FVP. He's just 3/4 of a length back in second. Tucson Charlie third. Beret and Trent Tharps being sent from the back of the pack, followed by Billy Don't Be a Hero, and far back to Jamaican Me Crazy. They're at the 3/4. It's Broadway Chaperone, who now leads by a length, puts away FVP, but has Beret to contend with 3/4 in 1:27 and 4. 31 on the third split as they roll to the top of the stretch. Broadway Chaperone 3/4 of a length. Beret challenging the outside second. Tucson Charlie's had the perfect trip in third. Going out extremely wide there as they come through the stretch. Billy Don't Be a Hero, and they're driving through the stretch. And it's Broadway Chaperone on top. Tucson Charlie between them. Far outside, Billy Don't Be a Hero. Broadway Chaperone, Billy Don't Be a Hero. They hit the wire together. Looked like maybe Billy Don't Be a Hero just got up. Broadway Chaperone and Tucson Charlie. Back in the winner's circle, number 5, Billy Don't Be a Hero. 6-year-old son of Billy Darn out of the Steady Star mare Irene Hanover, owned by Greg Trent of Greenville. Tim Harless, the winning trainer. Brian Sears, the winning driver. Second win on the season. Billy Don't Be a Hero in 1:58.2. 5-2 exact to 43.20. Try 5-2-3, 133.60. Here they are for the 10th. One is JB's El Cid, underleased to Angela Barker with Justin Hall. 2 is Good Allegris, owned by Stephen Watkins with David Myers. 3 Yammer Yank, owned by Chemier and Momentport. Trent Tharps drives. 4 is Out, 5 Downwind Penske, owned by Arthur Gillum with Chip Noble driving. 6 One Step at a Time, owned by Connie Peterman with Terry Groves. 7 is Van Cruz, owned by Tommy Lee Smith with Brad Henners. 8 Let's Do It Now, owned by Horner Racing Stables, Brian Sears in the bike, and the 9 is Mount Alvin, owned by Stidham and Rafferty, Rocky Stidham. 6 minutes. Lining up in the backstretch, and there they go. And they're off. One Step at a Time is out for the lead with Let's Do It Now from the far outside. Good Allegris is driving through between horses, and Van Cruz is there from 3 wide. JB's El Cid gets away in 5th, 2.5 lengths clear of Yammer Yak in 6th. And then it's 2 more, and we come to Downwind Penske, and Mountain Alvin is the early trailer. Sorting themselves out as they race to the top of the stretch. Good Allegris leads by 3/4 of a length from 3 wide. Let's Do It Now in a second. One Step at a Time takes a tuck in 3rd. JB's El Cid is 4th. Van Cruz is well off the early pace, racing in 5th, and the opening quarter was in 28.1. Passing the stands for the first time, and this is Let's Do It Now, showing the way for Brian Sears. 13-1 long shot, leads it by a length in 3 parts. Tracked by the favorite Good Allegris in 2nd. One Step at a Time is 3rd. JB's El Cid 4th. Van Cruz swings to the outside from 5th, giving cover to Yammer Yak in 6th. And then it's Downwind Penske, and Mountain Alvin has trailed throughout. 10 lengths separate front to back. Around the turn of the half-mile pole, Let's Do It Now leads Good Allegris by a deuce. Van Cruz on the outside. One Step at a Time is hemmed. Second over Yammer Yak. JB's El Cid is 4th back at the rail, followed by Downwind Penske and Mountain Alvin, 59-1. 31 on the second split down the backstretch. Let's Do It Now leads a length and a quarter. Van Cruz is boldly moving up on the outside, 2nd, followed by Good Allegris, who's in the pocket racing in 3rd. Yammer Yak gaps the cover 4th. One Step at a Time is 5th. Outside, that's Downwind Penske in 6th. Mountain Alvin launching a 3 wide bid with 7 to make up. JB's El Cid is last in 1:29 flat. Around to the top of the stretch, and Brad Henners and Van Cruz take over the lead. They open up by 2.5 lengths. On the outside, Yammer Yak is moving into 2nd. Let's Do It Now is dropping back 3rd. Mountain Alvin on the extreme outside, along with JB's El Cid on the far outside as they drive through the stretch. Van Cruz by 3.5 lengths. Mountain Alvin is closing in. JB's El Cid on the far outside. Good Allegris at the rail, but it's Van Cruz on top. 4 on the night for Hanners. Van Cruz wins it by 2. Then it looked like Mountain Alvin over JB's El Cid and Good Allegris 4th. 10th race is now official. Back in the winner's circle is Van Cruz, 7th win on the season. 12-year-old bay gelding by Vance Hanover out of the Out to Win mare Kim. Owned and trained by Tommy Lee Smith of Lebanon. Brad Hanners with 4 wins on the night, 159-2. 7-9 exact to 2380. Super 7912, 1003.1180. 303 in the pick, 372.20. Rundown for the 10th. JB's El Cid was 3rd. Good Allegra's 4th. Yammer Yak finished 6th. Frantic Frenzy was scratched. Downwind Penske